Hi, I'm Helen. This is a 60-minute all levels Vinyasa class with variations on Crow Pose. And Crow Pose is an arm balance that builds strength through your shoulders, your arms, your upper back, also your core, helps overcome a fear of falling, and helps you achieve that feeling of taking flight. It's also a favorite of all kinds of practitioners. Many beginner students find that they can achieve Crow Pose if it's taught in the right way and if they just trust themselves, but it takes years to perfect and find some of the variations that we'll be playing with today. All right, we are going to get started today. Welcome, I'm Helen. Sam is here, part of my quarantine pod, so we're practicing yoga together safely. We've got a 60-minute all levels Vinyasa class focused on variations on Crow Pose. So some arm balances, I'll give lots of options, whether you've ever done it before, feel like you're a pro and want to try some different stuff, just have fun with it, try not to take it too seriously, and we'll teach lots of different ways to get in and out of crow. So let's get started in a child's pose today. Your knees can be wide or together. Big toes touch hips to heels. Just let yourself get comfortable, relaxed into your mat. If this is not your favorite shape, you can take something else entirely. Maybe a seat, maybe lay on your belly or lay on your back. Just take a moment here to really check in and notice your breath. Allow your breath to move into your back body, especially your upper back around your shoulders. We'll spend a lot of attention and time in that space today, building strength through your upper back and chest, arms and shoulders. You can turn on Ujjayi breath if you haven't yet or would like to, in and out through your nose. A nice strong audible inhale and exhale, creating heat, creating connection, body and mind, through your breath. If there's any kind of intention you'd like to set for today's practice, this is a good time to do that. If nothing specific comes to mind, maybe just visualize yourself in a crow pose or some kind of arm balance. Really embody that sensation of lifting, of taking flight, that power and confidence it takes to balance on your hands. And then make your way to a tabletop position, hands and knees. Spread your fingertips wide, stack your shoulders above your wrists, hips right above your knees. Inhale to a cow pose, lift your tailbone, drop your belly, send your heart forward, gaze up. Exhale to cat, press the ground away, scoop, round, hollow out. Feel that space between your shoulder blades pressing up to the sky. And then continue to move like that with your breath, arching and rounding, moving back and forth. If there's extra movement you want to add in, a little head roll, a little movement side to side, or if you want to stay in a shape a little bit longer, of course, please feel free to do that. Really nice. We'll take 2 more rounds of breath. Last one. Come back to neutral. Move to a modified side plank on your right. You're welcome to take regular side plank. I like to pivot my foot off to the side, left foot back, left arm high. Stack your hips and shoulders. If this feels like enough, stay. If you'd like a little bit more, arm above your head, or lift your foot, or find some other variations. Regular side plank, stepping back with your right foot. Imagine lifting through your obliques, turning on your core. One more breath in. Exhale, release it right away to the other side. Shift your weight to the left. Adjust your foot, your knee. Stack your shoulders, your hips. Find any other variations you took on that second side. Yeah, an extension, a lift. Nice. One more deep breath in. And exhale, hand down. Make your way to downward facing dog. And in your downward facing dog, you can pedal out, you can sway a little bit side to side, you can find stillness. Try to exaggerate the length through your spine, the sensation of pressing your chest back to your thighs. Breathe into your shoulders, your upper back, and your chest. As you next inhale, bend your knees, look forward, and we'll take little hops toward the top of your mat. So like a little bunny hop. It might be forward, forward, forward. It might be one. Yeah, have fun with it. Lift halfway when you arrive. Breathe in. Fold, breathe out, relax your head and neck. Rise up, reach up, hands to the sky. Big inhale. Exhale, palms together in front of your heart. Reach your arms overhead, breathe in. Interlace your hands behind your low back as you exhale. Reach your hands back, lift your chest, maybe a little lift of your chin. And then think chair legs, bend your knees, belly to thighs, and fold yourself forward over your legs. And you can keep your knees super bent. You can straighten out your legs if that feels okay in your hamstrings. Yeah, a little pedal, a little sway side to side. Lift one shoulder and then the other, opening things up just a little bit more. Release your hands down toward the earth. Halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana, breathe in. Exhale, hands down, step just your right foot back. Take one inhale, sink your hips, reach your heart forward as if you can pull it toward the front of your mat. Exhale to downward facing dog, left foot steps back to meet your right. Feel free to stay right here. Feel free to drop your knees, take a child's pose, or as you inhale, shift forward, high plank, upper push-up, and holds. And you can add a little bit of movement. A shift forward and back is a nice one. You can try to lift one foot off the ground, maybe even the opposite arm, or just play with the feet. Or you can stay totally still and just find that heat and strength in your body. Fantastic. Back to down dog. If you want to take a chaturanga, an up dog, or a cobra to get there, please feel free. Find a full breath in through your nose. Open your mouth, let it all go. Once more, big breath in. Open mouth, exhale. Fantastic. Bend your knees, breathe in, look forward. Step, hop, floats to your hands, exhale. Halfway lift, lengthen. Slide your shoulders down away from your ears. Exhale, forward fold, relax your head and neck. Rise to standing, arms reach high. Palms together in front of your heart, exhale. Inhale, reach overhead. Hands behind your back. Once more, interlace your fingers. Try the awkward grip on top, so the weird thumb on top. Lift your heart, breathe in. And then again, chair legs, belly to thighs to start, and then fold yourself forward. And you might find you can get a little bit deeper the second time if you want to add your movement back in, a little movement side to side, a bend, a lift. Nice. Release your hands toward the ground without slingshotting. Lift halfway, breathe in. Exhale, hands down, step just your left foot back. Sink your hips, reach your heart forward, inhale. Downward facing dog as you exhale, right foot meets left. And again, option to stay or shift forward to high plank. You can play with tricep push-ups, chaturanga push-ups. You can take a regular vinyasa, chaturanga to up dog or cobra. You can hold your plank, tabletop. We're starting to build some heat, some strength through those areas we're going to work in and use for our crow pose. A moment here to pause, check in. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Step, hop, float to top of your mat, exhale. Halfway lift, breathe in. Forward folds, breathe out. Rise up, reach up, hands high. Palms together in front of your heart, exhale. Into your chair pose, Utkatasana. So that could be feet together, that could be feet hip distance. A little peek down, make sure you can see your toes, more weight into your heels. Take a breath in as you are. Open arm twist to your right as you exhale, right hand back, left arm forward. Try to relax your shoulders out of your ears, reach longer through your fingertips, and keep your knees in line with each other so they're not pulling hips out of alignment. Back to center, inhale. To the other side as you exhale, left hand back, right arm forward. Feel that stretch, sit a little lower. Breathe in, back to center. Exhale, drinking bird. Sweep your hands back, lift your heels. So starting to work into some core strength. Yeah, this can be more upright, a little bit lower like Sam, depending on what feels best for you. If you're getting lower, keep your chest, your heart open. Belly works a little closer to thighs. Breathe in. Simple forward fold, exhale, release heels down, hands down, head and neck down. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, hands down, step your right foot back once more. Rise to a high crescent lunge, inhale, arms to the sky. Use your exhale to settle and adjust. So try to even out hips, right forward, left back, strong in your right glutes, especially to find space in the front of your hip flexor and thigh. Relax your shoulders. Breathe in. Open arm twist, left hand back, right arm forward. And we're just gonna hold here for 2 full rounds of breath. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, open to warrior 2. Back heel pivots flat. Settle in. Make sure you can see your front big toe. Maybe you can sit a little deeper into your legs. Maybe you're good just where you are. Reverse warrior, breathe in, up and back. Stay as you exhale. One more inhale. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down. And lift your left leg up and back, 3-legged dog. So carry it up and back with you. And just watch the wall there. Yep. Open up your hip, bend your knee. Allow a little bit of movement. So you can draw circles with your knee, get into your hip joint. You can roll your ankle, bend and straighten out through your leg. Extend your leg long, square off your hips, your toes point down, breathe in. Knee to nose as you exhale. Shift forward, really lift. Puff up that space between your shoulder blades. Yeah. Twice more. Inhale, leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Last one, breathe in and breathe it out. Hold here, inhale. Step forward between your hands with that left foot, exhale. Look forward, breathe in, and then step right foot all the way up to meet your left, exhale. Halfway lift, lengthen. Forward folds, release. Stand tall, reach high, full breath in. Palms together in front of your heart. So just starting pretty simply to warm up our bodies before we move into stuff. Inhale to chair pose. This time we'll open arm twist left first, left hand back, right arm forward just for the breath out. Center, breathe in. Take it to your right, breathe out. Inhale back to center. Exhale, drinking bird, hands back, lift your heels. Take one breath in. Forward fold, release it all down. Lift halfway, inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, hands down, step your left foot back, and rise to your high crescent lunge, both arms overhead. Take the time here to find that stability, really press through your feet, connect to the earth, and then find a sense of ease or lightness. We're gonna work into that balance with our crow pose variations. Breathe in. Open arm twist right, breathe out. Right hand back, left arm forward. 2 full rounds of breath. Inhale to center, hands high. Warrior 2, as you exhale, open to the side. And if you can, notice something different in the shape. A lot of times we go into the same poses over and over again, and we kind of just take for granted what they feel like or look like. So you can tune into something a little different. Keep your legs the same, reverse warrior, breathe in, up and back. Stay as you exhale. One more inhale. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down, frame your front foot, and then take your right leg up and back to your 3-legged dog. Open up your hip, bend your knee. Notice how that feels, ankle, knee, hip joint, movement, stillness. Feel free to explore. Yeah, extend your leg long, breathe in. Knee to nose, breathe out, shift forward. Pull it up really close, finding that heat. Twice more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, knee to nose. Last one, breathe in. And breathe it out. Hold here, big inhale. Use your exhale to step your foot forward between your hands or however close it gets. Breathe in, look forward, and then left foot steps up to meet your right, exhale. Halfway lift, lengthen, and just fold as you exhale. Heel toe your feet out. We're gonna take it to Malasana squat, working into our first variation of crow, heels in, toes out, hands to your heart. And this is probably my favorite way of working into crow. I'm going to scoot back so you can see some different angles on this. Elbows press into your inner thighs or inner knees. Knees press right back into your elbows. Especially if you're really flexible and you can kind of sit down. See if you can lift from your pelvic floor, find a sense of buoyancy. Yeah, engage your core, open your chest. Please feel free to stay right here. Or hands down. Knees come either onto your armpits or triceps, so climb them high, or outside. Think of chaturanga arms, hug your elbows in like you're making a little shelf. Whether or not you're using that shelf for your knees, look forward, weight into your fingers, 1 foot off the ground, maybe 2 feet off the ground. Yeah, so it might look like Sam, a nice balance. It might look a little bit more like me, a little lean, a little awkwardness. If your weight is really far back, make sure you're taking it forward to get your feet off the ground. When you've had enough, forward fold ragdoll, feet down, hips high, keep your feet wide, relax your head and neck. A little bit of movement, a sway, a nod, a shake, let go of whatever happened or didn't happen. Let your hands release down to the ground, and then walk your fingertips over to the right. You can bend one or both knees, send your hips a little left. Back through center to the other side, hands left, hips right. And then back to center. Heel toe your feet in toward each other. Halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana, big breath in. Forward folds, breathe out. Reach up, stand up, hands to the sky. Palms together in front of your heart, exhale. Inhale to your chair pose. This time we'll right away move into drinking bird. Sweep your hands back, lift your heels. So another place to take crow from, hands come down. Yep, feel free to go there. Knees climb into triceps, or you can stay in that drinking bird, work the core strength, the balance. So oftentimes when we're thinking about arm balance, it's like we're either doing it or not doing it. You can think about all the little steps working up to it, all the poses you do before, as ways to strengthen, to hold yourself in those shapes. If you've got crow and you want to play with hopping back chaturanga, legs go back, chest reaches forward at the same time. We'll meet in down dog. If you're still in that drinking bird with me, that's totally fantastic. Hold it here, take a big breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Lift halfway, inhale. Exhale, find your way to down dog. You can take a flow, you can simply step it back. Any variation. Some days things work really well. You float, you fly. Other days you kind of just feel like you're grounded, rooted. Gravity's taken its toll. So honor what your body's saying each day. Let's drop to tabletop, hands and knees. And take a little thread the needle to find some space through our upper back and shoulders. Right arm out and up to the sky. Roll your wrists a couple times. Thread to your left, drop your shoulder down to the ground or toward the ground, side of your head down. Left hand stays, reaches in front or wraps behind your back. Breathe here. Beautiful. Unwind, left hand by your face, unthread right arm out and up. Big breath in, stretch. And then exhale, release. Other side, left arm to the sky. Roll your wrists a couple times. Take that thread as you exhale. Set yourself up. Anywhere you like your right arm is fantastic. Side, forward, back. So getting into a little bit of twisting to work more through that thoracic area of your spine. We'll do some side crow in a little bit. Before we get there, we'll play with one of my favorites, a little baby crow variation. So as your sides feel even, unwind, right hand down, left arm stretches out and up, breathe in, and then exhale, release it down. So a nice way to start, we're gonna move into a dolphin pose. So down dog on your forearms is just to take your forearms down here in your tabletop. And you can do a little check, make sure hands can touch your elbows, so your elbows are no wider than your shoulders. Palms flat, like a number 11 with your arms, or if you prefer, hands in prayer or interlaced. Tuck your toes, lift your hips. Start by letting your head relax between your arms. If your hamstrings are really tight, you can take your legs wider, bend your knees. This may be enough. Stay here. You're already building strength and flexibility through your shoulder girdle, so this is really nice around your upper back and chest. If you want to play with baby crow, this one's fun because you don't have as far to fall, so for some people that fear element is taken out. For that, you're going to peek forward to your thumbs, walk your feet in as close as you can. See if you can climb your knees onto your triceps, maybe as high as your armpits. I kind of drop my bottom to do so. Lean forward like you're going to kiss the ground, and maybe you even touch, and maybe your feet float. Yeah, so it's not super high. You can take a child's pose when you've had enough, but feel free to play, rocking it forward, rocking it back, finding that little balance, and then taking a moment of rest as it's calling for you. Come up to a seat on your shins if this is comfortable for you. If not, you can be kneeling or come onto your bottom. Reach your arms out wide, breathe in. Take your right arm below your left for your eagle arms. Hug opposite shoulders or connect back or palms together. You can stay just as you are. You can take some movement, circles, or lift and lower. Come onto your knees. Just stretch and open up through your back. Couple rounds of breath. Or when you've had enough, simply open it up and take it to the other side. Cross the opposite arm under. Hold opposite shoulders, connect the back of your hands or the palms of your hands. And then find your choice of movement. Create that little sense of release. As your two sides feel even, release maybe some shoulder shrugs. Yeah, maybe hands behind your back, interlace, open up the opposite area. Eventually find your way to your downward facing dog. No rush ever, take your time always. We'll try those little hops toward the top of your mat again. This time they might be a little bit bigger, getting some hang time, finding a sense of lifting from your pelvic floor, your navel to spine, so some bandha work there, some energy locks, or just little bunny hops. Yeah, I like to lift on my exhale. It could be little hops up and down. It could be one hang time. You could be like, Helen, no way, Jose. Step your way to the top of your mat. It's all good. Halfway lift when you arrive. Take your time if you're still playing. Exhale, fold, release it down. Rise to standing, arms float high. Exhale, palms together in front of your heart. Inhale to your chair pose. Find the depth in your legs. Exhale, bring your palms together at heart center. Take a breath in as you are. Twist to your right as you exhale, so your left elbow hooks outside your right knee. And if that feels crazy, you can take the open arm version. So if that doesn't feel like you're warm enough, or it's just too deep of a twist for your body, otherwise a little peek down, hopefully knees are in line. Yeah, you can open your arms like Sam's doing. You can keep your palms pressed in. If you want to play with side crow, this is a fun place to take it. You're going to come onto your tippy toes, bring your hands down to the ground, and make a little shelf. I use both elbows. Some people use just one. You decide what works for you. I'll give you a second angle. I'm going to take my right elbow toward my hip, or my hip to my right elbow, my knee toward my left elbow. Lean forward. Maybe your head touches down enough to where your feet come off the ground. Maybe you can start to extend your legs. Opposite directions, out together. Stay in a little ball. Yeah. Sam is super strong, so if you don't look like this, that's okay. I'm definitely not looking like this, especially not today. Find your way to forward fold for a moment to release. And take your feet about hip distance apart if they're not quite there. Lift halfway, breathe in. Fold, breathe out. We'll take big toe pose, so wrap your first two fingers and your thumb around your big toes. Create another little lengthening sensation as you breathe in, and then exhale, gently draw yourself deeper. So you're not pulling yourself into a stretch, you're just allowing your arms to guide you further along. A little reset for your spine by folding. Head and neck relax, yeah. Release your grip. Bring your feet back together unless you like your chair pose with your feet wide. Lift halfway, breathe in. Exhale, fold, and we'll move right into chair. Inhale, sit low. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take a breath in, find length. Twist to your left as you exhale. So right elbow comes outside your left knee or in that direction, palms pressed together. Maybe your heart turns to your thumbs. I'm less concerned about that. More about keeping your knees, your hips in line. If you opened your arms, you can play there. If you took the arm balance on the other side, I want to play here. I like to squat down. You might take it more from upright. Yep. Feel free to find that space. Make a little shelf, one or both elbows. Reach your chest forward. I see a lot of people looking straight back. So think of taking your chin out in front. Even if your head comes close to the ground to get your butt off the ground or your feet off the ground, find that lift. Yeah, beautiful. Tons and tons of options with the legs. The first part is kind of getting the weight forward over your hands to lift, and then you can move into those variations. Forward fold is your release. Feet out about hip distance if they're not quite there. Lift halfway, breathe in. Exhale, fold. Gorilla pose, bend your knees a lot so your belly is to your thighs, and then slide your hands, palms facing up underneath your feet. Toes hopefully get close to your wrist creases. You can give your wrists a little massage by wiggling your toes. If you want to play here, you can play with lifting one or both heels off your mats. If you feel like you're going to face plant, that's a normal sensation. You can also take a little gorilla walk up and down your mat, making this a little bit more lighthearted. Give your wrists a little massage, a little break. And then slowly release. Hands out from under, heel toe your feet back in toward each other. Big toes touch, space between your heels. Lift halfway, breathe in. Fold, breathe out. Tuck and curl into a little ball. Lift your heels, drop your bottom, and round your forehead to your knees. Try to puff up that space between your shoulder blades into your middle back and all the way down to your lower back, as if you can send your spine up to the ceiling, into the wall behind you. And then slowly lower down to a seat for your Cobbler's pose, Badakanasana. Feet together, knees out wide. Lift your heart, breathe in. Hinge forward over your legs as you exhale. Hands can stay where they are. You can use your elbows to press into your shins, walk your hands forward, or even open up your feet like a little book and give yourself a massage. Let's take a good 5 rounds of breath here. Maybe 1 or 2 rounds of breath, depending on how fast or slowly you're breathing. Lift your chest, draw your knees together for your boat pose. Lean back, float your shins. Hands can stay behind your legs, go wide if you want a lot more. Legs straight, arms to the sky. Try to lift your heart, find that sensation of sucking your belly button up and underneath your ribs. 1 more breath in. And exhale, make your way to down dog. You can cross your ankles, plant your palms, step, hop it back. Honor what your wrists and shoulders are telling you. If you're feeling pretty tired, maybe you do less. If you feel good in that heat, pushing yourself, maybe you do a little bit more. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, step, hop, or float, top of your mat. Halfway lifts, breathe in. Forward folds, breathe out. Rise to standing, hands float high. Palms together in front of your heart. We're gonna go right back into your chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take a breath in, feel the length through your spine. Twist to your left to start this time, so right elbow outside your left knee. And instead of moving into the arm balance from here, we're gonna play with stepping it back into a twisted lunge. So weight into your left foot, I peek down to my toes. Right foot can hover to your bottom, play with balance, like a little flamingo. Maybe you extend your right leg, like a kind of bent knee, twisted warrior 3. And as you're ready, take a big step back. And you can adjust here. I like to drop my knee. You can adjust your arms. Hang out in the twist if this feels like the place you want to be. Long spine, rotating through your thoracic spine where your ribs attach, or a fun place to play with side crow. Knee lifts if it's lowered. Hands come to the left. Make your little shelf. Thigh onto your arms to play with extending. And really with legs extended like that, a version of Vinyasa, one of the sages, pose named after one of the sages, yep. Back to your twist if you took something else, the arm balance or a different variation. And then release your hands down. Press your left knee into your left armpit and see if you can hover your left foot toward your shoulder, your side. Find that strength here. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Open up your hip, bend your knee. A little bit of movement, a flip for wild thing, some knee to nose sensations, one-legged chaturanga. Explore, stay, breathe. We will meet in downward facing dog when you feel like you've had enough. From down dog, inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Step, hop, float to your hands. Lift halfway, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Stand tall, reach high, full breath in, upward salute. Exhale, palms together in front of your heart. Same thing, second side. Inhale to your chair. Hands to your heart as you exhale. Take a breath in, find length, and then twist to your right. So same thing here, give yourself some time to really feel the twist. Weight moves into your right foot. I like to peek down, that's more grounding and stabilizing for me. Start to hover your left foot, maybe foot to bottom. Maybe you extend your leg behind you. Maybe that's not happening, you just need to step back and make your way into that twisted lunge. So adjust as you like. Knee down, knee lifted, arms open. If you'd rather have your left hand on the ground, right arm to the sky, you can always go there. Or if you want to play from here into that side crow variation, hands come down to the right. Lift your back knee. If it's lowered, lean forward. So I really send my chest towards Sam so that my feet get light. Yeah, fantastic. Remember to breathe through it. Should have said this way earlier, but we often hold our breath when things are a little challenging or when you're using force, exerting energy, so breathe through, that'll definitely help. Back to that twisted lunge if you took something else. One breath in. Exhale, release your hands down. Plant your palms, right knee to right tricep. Try to hover your foot toward your glutes, toward your side. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Inhale to three-legged dog. Exhale, open up your hip, bend your knee. Some movement here, circles, a flip for wild thing. You can mirror what you did on the first side. You can take something completely different. You might find that you have one side as we're moving into these side versions of crow that feels a little stronger or is more comfortable. And so playing with spending more time on the side that's a little less comfortable, building a little bit more strength to that side that doesn't feel quite as strong, whatever that is for you. Take a breath in, bend your knees, look forward. Travel to your hands, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Rise to standing, arms sweep high. Palms together in front of your heart, exhale. Inhale to chair pose. Exhale to figure four, hands to your heart. We'll take right ankle on top of left thigh. Flex your toes, send your hips back. And you can stay more upright. You can bring your elbows toward your shin. You can give your little shin a hug or hands to ankle. Since we've been doing lots of arm balances, unless you really have to go into a flying pigeon, I would say just stay, enjoy the stretch. Let's take 2 more rounds here. Slowly release right ankle crawls down your left leg for a cross-ankled forward fold. Hands release to the ground. Nod your head yes, breathe in. Shake your head no, breathe it out. We'll play with a crossed ankle crow pose, so a fourth variation. Ankles stay crossed, palms come flat. Come onto your tippy toes and open your knees to the sides. So you still have this sort of crossed ankle shape. You can stay just like I am, or you can start to bend your elbows. Knees climb high onto your triceps or to your armpits, yep. And it's okay if it's awkward. It feels really weird with your ankles crossed, or it can. A nice option is to just lean forward. You got it, yep, yep, yep. Maybe feet come off the ground, and maybe you play with crossing and uncrossing the opposite foot on top. Yeah, lots of core strength. Maybe you just stay and hold. Forward fold when you've had enough. You can let your feet uncross if they're still crossed. Nod your head yes, breathe in. And shake your head no, breathe out. Lift halfway, inhale. Exhale, fold. Rise up, reach up, hands sweep high. Palms together in front of your heart. Don't worry, we'll take lots of good wrist stretches later. Inhale to your chair pose, Utkatasana. To figure four, hands to heart, this time left ankle crosses. Flex your toes, send your hips back, really breathe into sensation. More upright. Lower, a cradle, a balance. Breathe, breathe, breathe. One more inhale. Cross cross-ankled forward fold. As you exhale, left foot slides down your right. Relax your head and neck. You can nod your head yes a little, shake your head no. And then play, either stay or play with that cross ankle crow, another variation. This time, other ankle on top. Fingertips spread wide, knees out to the sides. So I really squeeze my ankles together. And this may be where you stay, prepping, or you can take your knees to your triceps, lean a little bit forward. One side always works better than the second. That's it. And remember, everyone's proportions and bodies are different, experience levels are different, energy levels are different. So every day, every person may feel and look a little different depending on how we're moving through this and who you're practicing with and around. Forward fold is your release. Let's take this again wide like we're taking ragdoll. Hold opposite elbows if you like, or hands to the back of your neck and gently traction. A little sway, a little nod, a little shake. Release your hands down. We'll take Malasana again, heels and toes out. Sit low. Hands to your heart. So please stay if this feels like the nice place to be. You can take crow pose one more time. Play with that crow to chaturanga. Play with a crow to headstand. A little bonus one if you want to play with a one-legged crow. I'll attempt. It works on one side for me and not on the other. I don't know how it works for you, Sam. Yeah, so for one-legged crow, I start like I do my regular crow, so knees to triceps. I lean and look forward, and then I play with floating my feet. I think it works on my right side, so I really lean right. See if I can hover my left knee, maybe extend my left leg behind me, maybe just for a moment. And I probably should be spending more time working on my left. So again, play, don't play, smile about it, laugh about it, have fun. Always remember to breathe. If you're taking that crow to chaturanga, yeah, that hopping sensation, moving in both directions at the same time. If you wanted to take it to a headstand, really supporting your neck. Lots of fun places to go from your crow pose. And we'll just meet down in a seat on our bottom. So if you're in down dog, you can step or hop it through. Extend your right leg out in front, left knee out to the side. Reach both arms to the sky, breathe in. And as you exhale, lean it forward. And we'll stay for a few rounds of breath like this, and then we'll take it into a twisted version. So if you know you want the twist, hold tight, we're getting there. In Sanskrit, our crow pose is Bakasana, which actually translates to crane. And crane eventually is done with your arms totally straight. But I know for me that probably won't happen because of my wrists. And so we do it with that kind of knee bent version or crow to start. So you're more than welcome to stay right here or bring your right hand inside, maybe your right forearm inside your leg or even on top. Left arm reaches up and then over, finding a little bit of space through the left side of your waist and into your ribs, intercostal muscles. Gently lift yourself back up. Left hand behind you, right arm to the sky. Lift this little mild thing variation, or you can play with taking this toward more of a supported side plank like we started, lifting your foot and finding your foot behind you. And if you feel like you're not set up to get there, you can adjust your hand in any position or any space. If you've got your foot released, set it all the way back down, and we'll swap out legs. Left leg straight, right knee out to the side. Both hands to the sky, breathe in. Lean forward over your leg. Notice where you've got some sensation going on, where you can send a little bit of breath, add a little bit of space. Gently lift yourself up. If you'd rather stay here, you can. Otherwise, left hand on top, inside, maybe forearm inside, right arm reaches up and over to find that space through your right side. Even as we slow things down, stay with the awareness of your breath. And gently lift yourself back up. Right hand behind you, left arm to the sky. Lift yourself off the ground. Hang out there or start to lift your left foot. Maybe play with working that into a variation of your supported side plank. If you've got your foot released, lower yourself down. Another boat pose. Feet to the ground, knees to the sky. Any setup you like, hands behind you. Find a lift through your heart space. Maybe arms straight, legs straight, arms to the sky, legs wide. You choose. Smile, breathe. Big inhale. Exhale, cross your ankles, plant your palms, step, hop it back. Chaturanga or straight to downward facing dog. Gently shift yourself forward, high plank up or push up, and lower slowly all the way down to your belly. I took the lazy way. Sam took the nice way. We'll set up for Sphinx pose, elbows right below your shoulders. I'm just gonna scoot back a little so you guys can see, there we go. And then we'll do what I call a big hug pose. Lift your left elbow off your mat, thread your right arm underneath to the left. And you can certainly do this with just one arm, or you're gonna cross your arms kind of like you do with eagle. Yeah, let your head fall forward. So you're stretching upper back, outer shoulders, space between your shoulder blades, getting into your trapezius and your rhomboids. Built a lot of strength there. Crow pose is one of those poses, like plank, like chaturanga, that you're building up a lot of strength, will help with posture, opening things up. Also feels nice to stretch that out as well. And you're gonna know when it's enough time, so when you need to switch, change the crossing, other arm comes on top. You can stay here as long or as little as you like. Breathe into it. I try to meet sensation with my breath. So if I'm feeling it in a certain body part, how can I imagine sending my breath into that body part? And when both sides feel like they've had enough, you can uncross. We're going to take arms out wide in a T shape. Turn your head to look right, so your left cheek is on your mat, and then roll onto your left hip. Kickstand your right foot behind you, yes. Right hand can stay. It can wrap behind your back. You can take any other variation. We're stretching now through the front of your left arm, shoulder into your chest. And when that feels like enough, come back onto your belly, extend, arms out wide once more. Turn your head in the opposite direction, right cheek is on your mat. Roll onto your right hip, kickstand your left foot. And left hand can stay, reach behind you, take whatever variation. This time moving into the front of your right shoulder and chest. As your two sides feel even, back onto your belly, take your time. Press it back to child's pose. You might decide to take a child's pose with your knees together, a little bit more of an embryo variation, arms wrapped around your legs. You might take your regular child's pose, knees wide, a little prayer behind your head to work into your triceps. And then we'll take it 2 hands and knees, tabletop position. Find a little wrist stretch, give your wrists some love. We'll start by just turning hands out, fingertips out, thumbs forward. So the heels of your hands are pointing in. And you can rock side to side. You can take a cow and cat. You can make some circles with your body. Explore what feels nice. If that's enough, stay. If you want a little bit more, you can turn your fingertips all the way back to your knees. Your thumbs point to the sides of your mat. And do the same thing. Maybe to lean back, to stretch through the back of your forearms and wrists. Maybe it's movement side to side or cow and cat. And same thing if that feels like enough, stay. Otherwise, you can flip your fingertips back to the front, regular tabletop, and then start to play with palms up, fingertips pointing back to your knees, one at a time or both together. And I find more sensation if I lean back, less sensation if I lean forward and kind of bend my elbows. So you figure out what is true for you, what gives you the sensation and level of stretch that you like right now. As that feels complete, you can release your hands, sit back onto your heels, shake out your wrists, up and down, side to side, wiggle around. Everything feels really floppy when I do this. And then we'll take a little forearm massage. So one of my favorite things, back to your tabletop, knees go a little bit wider, and this can be kind of complicated, and you're welcome to do this however you like. You're going to take opposite forearm, palm facing up in front of knee. So right forearm in front of your left knee, and your elbow is bent. So it's not your whole arm down like thread of the needle, it's just your forearm. And then you're going to pick up your knee and place it on your forearm and give yourself a little body weight massage. So your body, you choose how much or how little, where your knee goes, whether that's on your hand, by your wrist, up by your elbow, a little bit all over the place. And you also decide when you switch sides. When that feels like it's been enough for you, back to downward facing dog, one of our last ones. And we're going to move into pigeon to work into outer hips, give a little stretch. If you know you've got knee stuff, yeah, you can come onto your back for figure four. Otherwise, one chin forward, doesn't matter which one you start with. Extend your other leg behind you. Stay upright or lean it forward. So you choose where and how you move into the depth here. Stay aware of your breath. Stay aware of any intention that you set as we started. Maybe that was that visualization of yourself flying like a bird. Feel that same sense of lift, empowerment, strength, even in these more passive and relaxing shapes. We'll take 3 more rounds of breath. If you would like to stay, please stay here. If you feel ready to come up and out, you can move back to downward facing dog, add some wiggles after, counter movement stretches, a wild thing, a vinyasa flow. If you're on your back for figure four, just switch legs or stay there, rest a moment. Yeah, eventually we'll find second side if you haven't yet. Settle in, find those little micro adjustments to feel supported and to allow yourself to really rest and release. And whatever happened in this practice, whether things looked the way that you thought they would or felt the way that you thought they would, see if you can release any attachments. I know when I'm working on a shape or something in life that's challenging to me, I always have to ask myself, 1, how important is it? What is it about? If it's just a shape, just a pose, does it matter? 2, if it does matter, how often am I really working toward it? So if it's a handstand you want to get, a version of crow, can you play a little bit every single day? Make it fun, rather than think I can do it once a month and it's magically going to happen. And then thirdly, I guess, remembering that every day is going to feel and look different. And so it's okay if it's not exactly how you think it's going to be. Can you enjoy the process and the experience regardless? When your two sides feel even, back up and out to your down dog, to your counter movements. If you're on your back, stay. We will get there eventually and meet ya. Step or hop through to a seat and then make your way onto your back, however you'd like to arrive in that shape or in that space. Place your feet on the ground so your knees point up to the sky. We'll take a twisted root kind of twist. So like eagle legs, right thigh crosses up and over, fancy lady. Yep, toes can cross behind your calf, they may not. You can pick up your hips, scoot them a little bit to your right, and let your legs fall to your left. And if that feels way too intense or like a little bit too much or just not right in your body, a regular twist with your knees stacked, one leg over the other, with one leg straight, one leg bent. Any other twist is fantastic. Notice your breath. If it's lighter, less intense, that's totally okay, but can you still attach your presence and your awareness to it? And then when that feels like enough time on this one side, untwist, uncross your legs, come back to center and take counter movements. Maybe it's a windshield wiper side to side of your leg or knees hug into your chest. Eventually working second side. Left thigh crosses up and over, toes can tuck if you like. Pick up your hips, scoot them left, drop your knees to your right. I know for me, these last final twists always feel really grounding, a little signal to my brain that things are slowing down. So stay in these shapes, stay with your attention, your awareness in your experience right here, right now. You're almost there. When you feel like both sides are even, uncross, untwist. You've got a good 3 or so minutes to find any last movements. A little hug in, a happy baby, a back bend of some kind, bridge, wheel, an inversion of some sort, legs up the wall. If you feel safe and comfortable in a headstand or in a plow or shoulder stand, those are nice shapes. Always protect your neck if you're taking any of those, so no movement of your head. And if you're ready for Shavasana, please feel free to meet us there. But a lot of times when we focus on one shape in particular, at least I find, there may be areas of your body that feel a little bit left out. So these last few moments are a great time to get all those wiggles and movements that will help everything feel a little bit more even, a little bit better balanced. And absolutely no rush if you're still working something. If you do feel ready to find your final resting shape, you could be in a seat, you could be on your back, you could be in anything else that feels relaxed and supportive. Try to relax your shoulders out of your ears. Maybe there's a little lift of your heart and a snuggle down of your shoulder blades. Relax your jaw. If you need to open your mouth, move it around a little bit. Relax your face. Notice as you're lying or sitting here in stillness, all the thoughts as they come in and go out. all the points of awareness, your own experience, what you hear, what you smell, what you see, what you taste, and of course what you feel. And just as if you're watching clouds on a summer day, floating in and out of your view above in that beautiful clear blue sky, can you let all of those things that you notice come in and come out of your awareness? We'll finish our practice today with a little square breathing or box breath, just to even things out. And I will walk you through the whole thing, but I'll explain it first. The idea is that you'll inhale for a count of 4, hold your breath in, so at the top for a count of 4, exhale for a count of 4, and then hold your breath out at the bottom for a count of 4. And I like to breathe through my nose. You can use any way of breathing that works for you. If the holds feel too long, if they don't feel appropriate, skip them. Just do a nice intentional long breath. We'll start with an inhale through your nose. Open your mouth, let it go. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Last round. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Back to a regular breath, however that feels for you. And start to add any little movements, wiggles of fingers, toes, wrists, and ankles. Extend your arms above you, big full body stretch. And with your eyes closed, gently make your way to one side and up to a comfortable seat. Facing any direction, looking any way. Hands can be where you like on your lap or put together, palms together at your chest. Take a moment to pause, to reflect on how you feel right now. To thank yourself for making the time to move, to breathe, to be here in this space, in this practice. I thank you all for sharing your energy with Sam and I, with everyone joining virtually, right now, later on. Lift your thumbs between your eyebrows, keeping in this connection you created, body, mind, and spirit. We'll gently bow our heads. Namaste. Thanks, guys. Take your time getting up. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you soon.